Hi, I'm Eileen, and I'm a recovering journalist. These days, I know more people who are former journalists, I think, than continue to work as journalists. It's a shrinking industry. And that led me many years ago to come up with my theory of journalism as having a pet tiger. This used to take longer to explain, but everybody watched Tiger King during the quarantine, so it's easier now. So if I told you I had a pet tiger, you would be like, oh, that is so cool. Can I take a picture with your tiger? Can I pet your tiger? Can I feed your tiger? You'd be super nice. But also in the back of your mind, you'd be like, that tiger is going to bite her fucking arm off one day. And we all know it. If you tell people you work in a newspaper, they're like, oh, that's so cool. You get to take pictures all day. You get to meet people, talk to strangers, do all this fun stuff. But anybody who knows journalism is like, she is going to get laid off one day. It's going to happen. So for me, my first experience with the pet tiger came in December of 2008, which, if you remember, was right at the beginning of the Great Recession. And I got laid off from a job in Cincinnati at the paper there, which was owned by Gannett. And Gannett loves like making budget by just cutting 10% of their workforce, and they have for years. And so, I mean, I knew it was coming, or I should have known it was coming. I remember going home that day and calling my parents, and I told my dad, and he said, well, the way the economy is, it'll probably be a year before you get a job. That was not helpful. I mean, it just made me cry more, but he was right. So 14 months later, I was this close to going back to school to get my MBA. I'd been accepted, had scholarships and stuff. And then I got a job offer from the York Daily Record in a little town in York, Pennsylvania. And I thought, do I go get an MBA in logistics, or do I go back to the Tiger Pit? I chose the Tiger Pit because what they don't tell you, or what I haven't mentioned yet, is that newsrooms are also super fun places. They're full of interesting people who make crazy phone calls all day long. They know all the hottest gossip, and they're most reporters and people, they're super smart. And pizza. So it's a great place to hang out, and I couldn't resist. And for 6 years, I had a great time. We got to do stories. There weren't budget cuts. I worked with some great photographers, and it was just amazing. Then in 2016, we found out that our paper was getting purchased by a little company called Gannett. Now, they were like, we've changed. We paid off our debts. We spun off our company. We don't have the same problems. They even had a hashtag New Gannett. They put it everywhere. Hashtag New Gannett. We had a party. There was a hot air balloon. They were so excited because things were going to be different. It's like your bad boyfriend coming back and saying, baby, I've paid off my credit cards. I'm a different person. I've gone to counseling. It's going to be better. But, I was like, okay, I'll give the new boyfriend a chance. But privately, right, you make your own plans. So in the fall of 2016, I enrolled in a Master of Science degree for data science that was like in my spare time after work. So it was an online program, and I spent 2 years working all day, and then learning how to code and do data stuff all night. I mean, I was really starting from nowhere. It took me a month to like figure out that my classes were in like 2 different programming languages. I was flailing there, but at least I had a goal, something else that wasn't worrying about what Gannett was doing or where my job was going to go. So sure enough, 2 years later, I'm finishing my degree. I am literally one day from defending my master's project that will officially give me my master's degree. And I get a text message. I'm at the University of Missouri to do this defense. And the text message is like, oh, the editors would like to talk to you later. When is a good time for a conference call? And I remember reading that text message and sighing loudly. And my classmate was like, what's up? And I said, I'm probably getting laid off today. And he's like, does that happen? And I was like, oh, poor child who doesn't work in journalism. It happens all the time. So sure enough, I get on that conference call later, and I'm informed that my job is going to go away at the end of June. Now, there are 3 things that I immediately thought. Like, the first was, it's not great when you don't get to leave a job on your own terms. I mean, I always think, like, I wanted to be able to say goodbye in my own way, which was going to be in September, because I'd already planned at that point, after I got my degree, to leave my job in like August or September and head to the West Coast from here in Seattle, where my family's at, because also there's better job prospects for data science out here. And then, but the third thing was that since they were getting rid of my job and I wasn't quitting, I got a nice little severance package to help cushion that blow. So overall, you know, little sad to be leaving newsrooms, sad that the decision was made for me and I didn't get to make that decision, but a little cash helps. So, you know, is it karma that I didn't get to make that decision? Probably, because I'm the dumbass who had a chance to go start a fresh start 2 years or actually 8 years earlier, but instead I went and got myself another pet tiger. Thanks.